There's always something special about new beginnings, so don't be afraid to start something new, because I tell you, it's always a chance to do something special. With that, I welcome you to today's edition of Prime Sport on your number one TV station, and my name is Solomon Edivri. Great programming we have for you on today's edition of the show, but first, let's take a look at what is making the rounds in the world of sport.
Every time my coach told me, if you're afraid of losing, you lose.
World number 2, Odunayo Adekoroye, believes she has what it takes to land her first World Championship medals at the 2020 World Wrestling Championship in Belgrade. Odunayo is there alongside two other wrestlers, Aminat Adeniji and Blessing Okorodudu. Odunayo said she is in great shape and she promised she will win her first championship in honor of Nigeria.
I'm ready to go, and if you really want to make history, you need to face challenges. So I'm ready to face anything.
Come on, Thomas, it's your first one, mate. Come on, Thomas.
Ghanaian midfielder Thomas Partey said credit must go to Arsenal coach Mikel Arteta for helping him settle in with the team. Thomas Partey has been rock solid for Arsenal since his arrival this summer from Spanish La Liga side Atletico Madrid. The 27-year-old midfielder said coach Mikel Arteta promised Arsenal can challenge for titles with him in the team and is focused on achieving that at the club.
Back to Willian. Oh, so close, Arsenal to the opening goal.
Brucevic, and where did that coming back? One from Akoli.
27-year-old British-Nigerian boxer Lawrence Okoli is confident he will continue his run of wins against Poland's Krzysztof Glowacki as his eyes are set on the vacant WBO cruiserweight title already. The bout will be on the undercard of Anthony Joshua's bout with Kubrat Pulev at the O2 Arena in London on the 12th of December. So far, Lawrence has recorded 14 wins from 14 bouts, 11 of which were via knockout.
Pelesic with a right hand from Akoli, lays him out. Early in the first round, he'll do well to get up from it.
New technical director of football in Nigeria, Augustine Egwaivon, has promised to chart a new course for football development in Nigeria, starting from the grassroots. Augustine Egwaivon admitted Nigeria does not have a particular football identity, but he promised he will achieve that as he has submitted his plans to the Nigerian Football Federation already, awaiting their approval.
See when they play against Sierra Leone, who are bottom of their group. Here Nacho once again on the turn and scores!
From football to cricket, basketball, all other sports, we love the players on the pitch or on the court as the case may be, but we also have to talk about the venues that hosted this event. With that, we start our series on all of the iconic stadiums all around the world, and on Did You Know today, we go straight to Rio de Janeiro in Brazil as we take a look at the iconic Maracana Stadium. It's a package you would enjoy. Sit back, relax, and yes, you know, Prime Sports will be right back after this.
Players want to play in the best stadiums in the world, but some stadiums are not just great, they are iconic. One of such stadiums is the Maracana Stadium in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Brazilian forward Neymar admitted that one of the moments he will never forget as a footballer is the 2016 Rio Olympics final against Germany, not only because Brazil won, but because they won it at the Maracana Stadium.
Neymar of Brazil gives Brazil their first ever Olympic gold medal.
Now let's know more about this iconic football complex. You can follow us on all our social media platforms. On Instagram is at PrimeSport_TV. On Twitter is at PrimeSportNG. On Facebook is at PrimeSport_TV. And you can subscribe to our YouTube channel Prime Sport for entertaining sporting videos that you would enjoy. After winning the right to host the 1950 FIFA World Cup, the Brazilian government decided they will build a new stadium for the tournament. At that time, the location was occupied by a tennis stadium, and it became difficult as there were oppositions to the construction of the stadium at that time, especially due to the amount it would cost. Eventually, the first cornerstone was laid at the site of the stadium in Rio de Janeiro on the 2nd of August 1948, with the first World Cup game scheduled to be played on the 21st of June 1950. The opening match of the stadium took place on the 16th of June 1950. It was Rio de Janeiro All-Stars who beat Sao Paulo All-Stars 3-1. Brazilian legend Didi became the first player to score the first ever goal at the stadium. Although the 1950 FIFA World Cup went on as scheduled, the construction of the Maracana Stadium was only fully completed 15 years later, that was in 1965. The Maracana Stadium was designed by several Brazilian architects: Michael Feldman, Walter Ramos, Rafael Galvarro, Oscar Valdetaro, Orlando Azevedo, Pedro Pablo Bastos, and Antonio Diaz-Canero. Brazilian official claimed before the 1950 FIFA World Cup that the Maracana Stadium could seat over 200,000 people, but the Guinness Book of World Records estimated it could seat 180,000 fans, but the current capacity is 78,838. The Maracana Stadium hosted the final for the 2014 FIFA World Cup and the 2016 Rio Olympics.
Aimed in for Kurtza! With touch, with finesse, and steered beyond Romero. And Germany are the champions of the world. Illuminate.
The stadium is the home ground of Brazilian club Flamengo and Fluminense, not forgetting the Brazilian national team. You can drop your comments about the Maracana Stadium on all our social media platforms. On Instagram is at PrimeSport_TV, on Twitter is at PrimeSportNG, on Facebook is at PrimeSport_TV, and you can click the subscribe button on our YouTube channel Prime Sport for more entertaining sporty videos that you will enjoy.
After 6 years, 11 trophies, Josep Maria Bartomeu resigned as president of Barcelona, and a lot of Barcelona followers and fans were rejoicing. But the big question has to be, what happens after his resignation? And that will be our spotlight segment for today's edition of the show. And I have our in-house analyst, Kehinde Idris. It's good having you on the show.
It's good to be here, Solomon. It's good to be here again. After a lot of happenings, we're here together, and it's going to be a fantastic one.
Definitely, it will be a fantastic one. But I start with my first question. A lot of Barcelona followers, let me say fans right now, they were rejoicing that Bartomeu resigned, and 6 years, 11 trophies. He has not been a bad president.
Yeah, he has not been. Solomon, let me quickly buttress on the trophies you mentioned. You mentioned that for the senior Barcelona team. Now, we've got the junior team, we've got the Barcelona Feminine, who are also champions like twice under Bartomeu, talking about the La Liga. Yes. Also the futsal, volleyball, ice hockey. A lot of successes under Bartomeu. But everybody knows in the eye of the world, or even in the eye of the set in the Barcelona board, the Barcelona senior team is the cream de la cream. Talking about, like the poster boy when it comes to all other sports or all other teams that they have. So anything happening to that team might just trickle down all other setup. So for everybody who seem to be celebrating, they are celebrating due to what is now happening with Barcelona under Bartomeu in the last 2 years. If you go back to his first 3 seasons and thereabout, it was beautiful. It was fantastic. But the last 2 years has got nothing to write home about. Signing, the kind of businesses we are doing, the kind of showing that the Barcelona team were having. Solomon, put in mind that so many teams go through board, managerial issue,
yes.
but most of the time we don't see reflecting on the field. But in the case of Barcelona, probably because there is an back and forth talks and all of that between the board and some of the senior players in the team who go onto the field. We can remember Abidal and Messi, Abidal and Suarez, Bartomeu and the likes of Vidal, Suarez, Messi,
even Piqué at some time.
a lot of here and there. So you find it translating into what happens on the pitch because of the managerial issue or the board problem. So it got to a point where this relationship has to be dissolved for us to move forward. Reason why there was celebration afterward.
Now, Kehinde Idris, it sounds like immediately Bartomeu resigned, fortunes would change with Barcelona, and I quite disagree with that.
Yeah, you can disagree, but let me go by something as practical as possible. The first game we saw Barcelona play post Bartomeu, it was against a Juventus side that so many people feel if it was during Bartomeu's era, it wouldn't have gone the way it went. We saw a Barcelona that won 2-0, had a clean sheet, then also controlled the game almost all the way. It looked like the best game Barcelona has played this season, and probably the best they've played in a long while. And that is something as directly practical as possible. Now, let me go the long term, talking about longevity. A lot of chairman or to-be president manifestos is saying some things or a lot of things opposite of what Bartomeu is doing.
Yes,
we'll try and keep Messi, we'll stabilize the ship, Ronald Koeman will go, we'll bring in Xavi Hernandez, so player wouldn't stay and all of that. So many things that probably they are saying it because they know this is what people want to hear. But sometimes when it comes to election, you say what people want to hear and they vote for you according to that, so that they can hold you accountable if you don't give them that. So, post Bartomeu, I am seeing a fresh air. Now, if you, as a Barcelona family, sees everything that happened during Bartomeu, I guess you will want to go down that road. I guess you want to apply another route that will bring in some other forms of success. Now, you might not be able to match what he had done, but I'm definitely sure you wouldn't want to go the way of the controversies he went, especially with players like Lionel Messi. You might want to say is Messi bigger than the club. He's still their biggest asset. If you want to attract anything to Barcelona right now, Messi must be in the fulcrum of the whole thing. Whether we like it or not, just last season, he still won the Pichichi, talking about the golden boots in the Spanish La Liga. So this guy is as huge. Now, some other senior players you just mentioned, Suarez left, Vidal left, and still some people are feeling they left because of Bartomeu, they left because of Ronald Koeman. You still have the likes of Piqué, who are still voicing out strongly. Messi is still voicing out strongly, and some other senior players like Jordi Alba. So you don't want to get into that tussle, player management and all of that. That has gotten so dirty that it got to affect the play on the pitch. So any president coming in, at least for sure of first 2 years, it would all be rosy, because he will go there and be massaging egos just to get results and get all of the Barcelona family together in one piece for us to forge ahead. So I'm seeing better days ahead. I don't know how long somebody else will go in a route that might not please everybody. So I feel in the immediate future, we'll see a different Barcelona from what we saw in the last days or the last years of Bartomeu as the president of Barcelona. So I'm feeling in no time we would have a change that will be better for everybody.
Kehinde Idris, I'll be going to my final question, and that is about the presidency itself come March 2021. But my next question is simple. You talk about the immediate future, and it's about Lionel Messi staying. Is it victory for any president now to keep Lionel Messi, or it's time to just let him go?
Yeah, it's victory. Because even Bartomeu in his resignation speech, or in his speech after resigning, said keeping Lionel Messi and making Lionel Messi be here even after I'm leaving is actually a top achievement for me.
Wow.
So it tells you the long way keeping Messi in Barcelona, means. A Messi who had said, I will be resigning here. I don't see any other footballing club, for me, outside Barcelona, except if I have to leave and go back to Argentina to Newell Boys. And he got to a point where Messi still looked like he still got a lot to offer football, or even to offer Barcelona, and it seemed he might just leave. But after the tussle, the back and forth, the war, he stayed. And the man Bartomeu is leaving Messi in that club. So anybody who is to be the next president, that's the first thing you will do. Make Messi happy, help Messi get back to the level Messi used to be, and then you will be talking about part of your achievement. Because whether we like it or not, whether we want to say it or not, whether we want to see it that way or not, if you check out Barcelona so well, Messi is still the most lethal weapon that they've got, especially going forward. So having Messi stay during your tenure is actually a huge achievement as a Barcelona president.
Finally, Kehinde Idris, for you, who should be the president? Is it about the man coming or about a system? Because the likes of Juan Laporte, the former president, wants to come back. Is it about the system or the person right now?
I think it's about the person effecting his own style on the system. A system that has got a template, but you must bring your own kind of operation into that system, and then let's see how we can marry both and work right. Now, this is what I mean. Let me take an example. We're in this studio, and the idea or the policy of this studio is the last person should put off the light, and that is
when you're leaving.
When you're leaving, that is about what the president of this studio is all about. Then there is a next man who is the president, and he feels if you feel you'll be here 10 times after leaving, you can leave the lights on. Then when you are finally done, you can now put the lights off. It's still the same achievement, but one wants it every time you leave, you put off the light, and one wants it when you're totally done, you put off the light. So it will still be on the template of a Barcelona setting, but imputing your own style as a person, because you must be unique. Everybody cannot be the same. So you must be unique in the way you do your thing. So it might be a bit of both. You look at how can this man's style fit into this system? Can it? If it can, then you vote for him. If this man's system cannot work in this system, that is marrying both will be hard, then you don't vote. If you look at this man is effective, but if his effectiveness will not work in the Barcelona setting, it will be hard for you to put him there. It will be a total chaos. So you can understand what I mean. It's a bit of both. You look at the man and also what the system entails. Can the man marry his own idea with the system and it goes well and it gives us, that longevity of happiness that we want, then that man gets our nod.
Okay, finally, Kehinde Idris, I was dodging this question, but let me just ask, how long will it take? How long do you think it will take Barcelona to be at the top again? I mean, winning the Champions League, that's how to be the biggest.
I think that's the hardest question right now, because even the Barcelona team are doubting themselves. As much as they've got exceptional talent, the same teams have overtaken them over these few years. The likes of Atalanta, RB Leipzig, Ajax, the recent Dortmund, you talk about Tottenham, you can go on and mention teams, even Lyon. And so when you're talking of, rising back to that point, first the stumbling block will be the new guys who are looking to take the empire from the old guys. Then you still got some old guards who are still there, like the Real Madrid, like the Bayern Munich. You still, must wrestle a lot. But if you know Barcelona so well, whenever they wake or whenever they are up and they are ready, it seems like there is a space waiting for them at the elite level. So for me, I don't know when, I don't know how long, because the only time I can put a time frame to it is if I see them looking like they are awake. But right now, they are still a sleeping giant, and when they are awake, maybe I can put a time frame. 1 year, 2 years, 3 seasons, then Solomon, I will be able to tell.
I wasn't surprised he didn't give us a time frame. I was expecting that from him, but it's an absolute pleasure having you with me on the show today.
Definitely, Solomon. The pleasure is on mine, sharing the studio with you again.
Yes.
It's always beautiful. I can't wait to do this again.
Most definitely, we will be doing it again very, very soon, I can promise. But it's an absolute pleasure having you with me. But we're taking a quick break right now, and more programming will be coming on Prime Sports. On the night of September 2017, it ended 5-0 in favor of Manchester City. But a year later, Liverpool got their pound of flesh and they won 2-1. Earlier this year, the only meeting at the Etihad in 2020, it ended 4-0 in favor of Manchester City. What to watch this weekend takes us to the Etihad Stadium as Manchester City hosts Liverpool by 5:30 p.m. It's left to you to decide the scoreline, but on our package today, we bring you what to expect in this cracker of a game. It's one that you would enjoy. Sit back, relax, and yes, Prime Sports will be right back after this. Every story has an end. I've come to the end of today's edition of the show. If you've enjoyed what we served you on today's edition of Prime Sport, join us same time next week for another fantastic edition of your #1 sports show on TV. Remember, you can follow us on all our social media platforms. On Instagram, it's at PrimeSport_TV. On Twitter, it's at PrimeSportNG. On Facebook, it's at PrimeSport_TV. And you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, Prime Sport, for entertaining sporting videos that you would enjoy. My name is Solomon Edivri. Catch you same time next week. And from all of us here, we say to you, God bless you for watching.